Hello everyone, I am going to do an install for EX1. This is Humber College Lab course ITCE 108, install configure vSphere 5. So based on our architecture, we need to install two servers in the beginning. The first one is EX1, the other one is VS1. VS1 is our Windows 2008 R2 server where we are going to install vSphere client from where we are going to manage EX1. So for EX1 I have created a VM within vCloud. So this is our vCloud lab which is available 24 hours for the students, and I've created a VM for EX1. Naming convention is very important, as and also the IP addresses. We have our own network ready. Now I would just provide a CD. From the CD I have two versions here. We'll start with 5.0. So for this training we are going to select 5.0. We have 5.1 as well. Probably will be using 5.1 later on, once we have finished installation of once we have finished installation of vCenter with 5.0, we'll jump to 5.1 later on. For now it's 5.0. So this is my hypervisor for ISO for 5.0. I would just insert the CD, and it would take few seconds. It is inserted, and then I would start the machine. While it is starting on, I can click on this machine and it is powering on. So this is our EX1. Based on our architecture, we are going to need 3 ESX in this lab. So this is EX1, then EX2, EX3, and EX4. So it is powered on. I can just jump to this machine, and as soon as I click over on top of this machine, this console opens, and this console is no hypervisor found. So for this I would just reset one. Reset means just to reboot, restart, and it's not recognizing the media. So for this I'll just power this off. Once it is powered off, I think there is something wrong with this machine here. What I'll do is I'll just completely remove this machine and add it again. So remove this one. In order to create a new VM, I would just click on add VM. Within add VM, new virtual machine. I would just use the same name. Here it is Linux. Within Linux, add this would be others 64-bit. For CPUs, I can select 2 CPUs at least. I need to expose. Actually, this switch is specially for all of the VMs inside that needs to be 64. So since this is an EX1, later on we are going to install VMs inside, so it should be 64-bit. Here I would select memory. Based on our architecture, it has to be at least 4 gigs to start with. Hard disk is again gigs. We are going to select 64-bit here. Once all selected, click OK, click next. Here, just for the storage, just click next. For the network is very important. We need to select our own network. that we have created in the first part of the video. Once you select your own network, then click next, and your machine is ready. Once this machine is ready, the second step would be to insert a CD. I would give it a few moments here. And it's ready. Go to CD, provide the same ESXi 5.0, and so media is being inserted, which means that we are providing ISO, and as soon as it is inserted, I would power on this machine. So this is how we add a new ESXi host. Once it is powered on, I can click back to jump back onto the console. And it seems it is connecting. Yes, so it means that the previous VM had some issues. We used the same CD, same media. All we did is to just recreated the EX1. So I'll just let the installation go. It would ask me a few questions here, and it is initializing the install. VM kernel loaded successfully. It's a straightforward install. It's not something very difficult. It's a straightforward install. So again, EX1 is our ESXi host, and this is a hypervisor. As we already know, hypervisor is an operating system. It's just like we have Windows in Microsoft. So ESXi is a hypervisor which is part of vSphere 5 suite. And so it asked me to continue. I will just select continue and press F11 for accept. F11, and it would take few seconds, few moments, and would show me the disk. Click enter. Keyboard, just select defaults. For now I'm not keeping any password, so my password is for the root account is blank password. Right after this, it would just start the installation. It would ask me one more time, so for now I'll just pause the video here, and once I get to that screen I'll start the recording again. So it took few moments, and now it actually what it did, it loaded all of the files within the memory, and once all of the files are loaded, all we need to hit is F11 for install. As soon as, so I will need to click inside the machine and F11. So now it is starting the install. It would take a few more minutes while it is installing. So what I would do is I would jump back to recording, and I would just pause the recording. Once it is done, will be back on the same screen. It is still at 22%. It's going on. Reach 32, 34%. It's gonna continue for a few more minutes. So once it reaches 100%, I'll start the recording again. 73% is still going on. Okay, so installation is done. As you can see, it is successfully installed. Now all we need to do is to reboot. In order to reboot this machine, we just need to press enter. Once you press enter, it would reboot. Right after this, we need to do few steps in order to configure the IP address. And once it reboots, comes back to the screen. So as we can see, it is restarting now. Take few seconds. It's very fast. It's amazing though that it takes few minutes or sometimes few seconds to just load. 5.1 is also a faster hypervisor. Now this OS installation takes a very small space within the disk. It's loading everything within the ESXi memory. Once it is loaded, and it is loading. I'm going to pause here. Okay, it's all loaded now. So all I need to do is to customize. In order to configure the IP address, I would need to press F2. I'll press F2 here. I need to click inside, press F2, would ask me for username and password. Since I did not choose any password in the beginning, I would just press enter and enter. This would take me right into the configuration. Within configuration, the very first thing we need to do is to provide an IP address. For IP address, we need to use our own IP addresses. So just to check my own IP address, let me see what is my subnet. vCloud, my subnet is 22. You need to select your own subnet, and there is a designated IP address for EX1. So let me jump back here to EX1. I will just change it to here, static IP address. So here we are back again. I am going to install, actually configure the IP address. I would again click F2. Right as soon as you click F2, it would ask you for the password. I have no password, so for that reason I would just log in. We just confirmed that my IP address subnet is 22, and I would just go to IP address, select static IP address, and here I would need to IP address 168.22, and for my first ESXi host we have, it should be 50 or 55. So I would just go with 50. Subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. Default gateway is always 1 within the subnet. Click OK. It's all done. And also, if you can, go into DNS settings. For now, I'll just leave the DNS settings here. And escape. I'm just pressing escape. As soon as you click escape, need to restart the management network in order for these IP settings to take effect. Soon as you click this, as you can see now, we have a new IP address. I would press escape again here, and I can see my new IP address. So this is how we install and configure ESXi host. So this is finished. This is installed. Right after this, we need to configure VS1, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.